There's just a lot of different
If
opinions
wins,
and how
losses
to see
truly
it and
mattered, there
whatnot.
would be a career profile which showcases all your stats.
Well, you can't. You're not supposed to be able to see MMR. The only way you can see it is with an unlocker, like a hacking tool. So, for instance, when I just made this account, what was it, yesterday? The MMR would have been 650. That's the lowest
I
it
can
can
see
go.
by my total escapes.
By now, it's probably, after all those games, like 8 hours of escaping constantly. Actually, it's more than that, because it went on for 8 or 10 hours, and then I did it again for another 4 or 5 hours. So it's probably like 15 hours of just constant escaping, with a few games where I ended up dying, but I would imagine my Survivor MMR is like super high on this account after that. It might be brought down a little lower because of like playing with you guys. Because it's an average. It takes the average of the survivors and it puts it against the killer. And there are other factors that play into it. Basically everybody agrees. Maybe not everybody, but the majority of people who know about it and are informed about the game, most of them seem to agree that it's a bad system. And ultimately, like in theory, it sounds good on paper, but when put into practice, it's very flawed.
Yep, true. I've heard a lot of people say that exact same.
So, like, let's say, for instance, you're a solo queue survivor and you are very selfish. You play very selfishly. You lurk around the outside of the map, waiting for everyone to die, you know, and you bring like whatever perks like Soul Survivor and Wake Up or something that's going to let you get out the gate. And then you're the only one that escapes, but you really didn't do much of anything. And you do that for a bunch of games, and then suddenly you're at like a high MMR, but you don't belong there because you're not really good. You just kind of like manipulated it. So now suddenly teams that are, you know, solo queue survivors who are at high MMR legitimately get you on their team, and you can't do anything, and you don't belong there. And like suddenly it's a very unbalanced game, you know, on top of all the other imbalances like the maps and the RNG and the killers and all the perks stacked and all that stuff.
What would you change about it, Spook and Douche?
I mean, I'm not an expert on MMR, but I think that things that should count for it would be like, if you're a killer, like let's say you're a killer.
Honestly, I see it with my teammates at RLLY annoying.
Let's say you're a killer and you get 8 hooks, so you hook everybody twice, but everybody escapes. It looks like you're trash and you got stomped because it was a 4-man escape. But when really, like, you got 8 hooks, it was a very close game. You could have, like, you were very close to, it kind of could have went either way. If you had just gotten one more hook, you would have killed one person, made it a 3v1. That could have turned into a 3 or 4K. It was actually a very close game, but because everybody escaped, the MMR sees it as, oh, you lost. So I think as a killer, the things that should count would be like the hits and the downs, or at the very least, like the hooks that you get. If you get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hooks or something, you know, that kind of stuff should go towards MMR. And survivors, I would imagine, like lasting long in chases, completing generator, like, you know, the time you spend repairing gens, healing, hook rescues, like altruism, all the things that the game tells you you're supposed to do. Like all that stuff should kind of weigh in rather than it just being about escaping or dying. All right, well, we're all here with the Legion.
Wouldn't listen though.
Well, I would imagine it would probably be harder for them to program that type of information and collect all those stats and like do all the math behind all that. But I mean, it doesn't sound like it'd be impossible. It just sounds like it'd be work, and they'd
They
rather.
only pay attention to killer mains when they want something changed.
I don't know about that. I've seen updates that seem very survivor-sided and updates that seem very killer-sided. I think what they really care about is making cosmetics so people spend money.
Yes.
Like, they don't want to put the time into, like, really combating the hacks and combating and, like, balancing the game and
Fixing bugs.
fixing bugs and doing the MMR correctly. They have to continuously put out skins and cosmetics so that people spend money, so that they maintain a certain profit.
Yep.
Because if they were to start focusing on all the other stuff to make the gameplay better, the balancing, like I said, MMR and all that stuff, that's going to take time away from them making cosmetics and characters and releasing chapters. And if they're not releasing chapters and characters and cosmetics, their money's going to go down and they're going to lose money. And that's just the end of it. Like, everything revolves around money. They're not going to want to lose profit. If they can just keep people happy enough. This is
Well spoken.
just my
Maybe
opinion.
if enough people that participate in PTB spoke, they could fix what really matters.
This is just my opinion. I'm just speaking off of what I think. I could be wrong, but to me, at the end of the day, it just seems like if they can keep enough people happy and playing with the numbers, like they're checking the numbers of how many people are playing and what they're keeping, and if they can keep enough people happy that they can continuously sell their chapters and cosmetics and make money, they're okay with leaving it at that, as far as not spending their resources on those other things.
I feel like people are always gonna want to buy cosmetics though, that won't change.
Exactly. So if that's where their money is, that's where they're making their money, why are they going to focus all their efforts, their time and effort and their resources into, because I got an idea. Let's all get slugged at the gate and bleed out. You know, it's going to take resources. They're going to have to like pay people to make certain changes and fix anti-cheat stuff and program all that MMR stuff and whatever they would have to do, fix bugs. They have to pay people for that. So why bother with that when they can just make more cosmetics, more chapters, put their resources there, and people buy it and they're making their profit. Do you guys realize that when you're slugged,
Well, I'll be old by the time that happens.
your best bet is to crawl away from each other and split up rather than making it so the killer can camp two people at once? Crawl in opposite directions.
To start crawling to the exit gate, she has to pick you up eventually.
Just went and sit in the corner. It's Susie, come on. Kill me. Susie. Susie. Wake up. Wake up. I gotta quit. She struggled. Steam player. BP offering equals Chad. Legion got put in timeout.
How often do they just give up?
They're all different. Some are more persistent and others are, they throw a little hissy fit in the corner.
I need to get one more blind inoculate. So I can finish my challenge.
Getting those reports. Sir. Some time. List of time and me I ever lose.
Spookin' Douche is a menace.
People like you are nothing in life. Wow.
I think she's mad.
Oh, they're gone by now.
Yeah, the peers are not responding to anything. They are back in the lobby, going to another match.
People like you are nothing in life. Go take a shower. You need one. I showered right before I started playing. I wanted to be fresh and clean.
Fresh and clean.
From when Big Sable stomps on Baby Legion.
So fresh and so clean.
You know it.
I think that's a song.
Outcast.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.